Hi, I'm Roxanne Wilson, and I'd like to welcome Ibra Taher, Green Party candidate for U.S. Senate.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you. I was wondering if you could tell me how your platform will influence you to vote for seniors and people with disabilities.
Thank you so much for this question. Unfortunately, our country is shifting economically. So when we talk about seniors, we're talking about the economy and the like main aspect of this question. And the other thing, we're talking about the culture. How is it shifting? So usually when we talk about seniors, we're talking about who is taking care of them and with what money they're able to take care of them. Now it is not a hidden truth that the country is going through really a disastrous economic time, and if we want to really take care of our like vulnerables, the elderly, the kids, and other like social services. We need first to make sure that our country is economically sound, and we cannot have that if we continue doing continue having the policy that we have right now, which is really just helping the big corporations, the 1%, concentration of the power, stripping the power from the economic bubble that we have. Now, most of the states are suffering. Only the 1%, those wealthy people are benefiting, which means that all of the services that we have, we need to slowly let them go away. And we cannot have that. We cannot have seniors services. We cannot have any other social services, disability services, if we don't have the money to do that. And if we don't have the money to do that, I don't think that we can survive. So fixing the economy is a major issue here.
Thank you,
So
Ibra. Also, the Older Americans Act provides critical programs that help 258,000 older adults in Oregon. As Congress considers funding for fiscal year 2021 and 2022, how will you protect and continue to increase funding for Older Americans Act and other aging and disability programs?
yeah, as I said, the problem with funding is the budget, the whole budget, this discretionary
Mm.
budget of the country, and if we don't have really a sustainable budget, the sustainable economic power, then we cannot be really talking about any funding, any sort of funding. That's why some people in the Congress and the government suggesting to cut some social services. The idea is not just like to hate people who are like older, or maybe hate people who are disabled. This is not that what they think about. They think about how we can afford it. Right now, I think most of you know that we reached a record a national debt, which is 25 trillions, and by the end of this year, it's gonna be 30 trillions, and 40 million Americans are without any jobs, which means the taxes, the revenue needs to go to unemployment. That's a huge deficit.
Thank you, Ibra. Speaking of the economic turndown, how would you address food insecurities for people in all demographics, especially for seniors and people with disabilities, even during times of economic crisis?
Yeah, well, this question is really one of the major issues that we need to worry about, because with the COVID-19, I think we learned that we don't have a sustainable food supply. The supply chain can be broken really easily, and that's thanks to policies that concentrated the power, the economic power, the production power, in the hands of the few. So most of the states, they don't have regional security in terms of food and products, and this is really a worrying issue that we need to stop and think about it, because you're talking about food insecurity, and that food insecurity is only related to the economic structure that we have. So in order to get rid of that, we need to localize the economy and have a regional sufficiency.
Thank you. What are your plans to improve the health of vulnerable seniors, people with disabilities, and people of color who traditionally suffer from more health disparities due to pre-existing conditions?
Yeah, so this question has two folds. One of them, the healthcare issue, which is related to the health insurance market and the healthcare that they can get from healthcare providers. And the other one is how to improve it with regards to the environment. We know that for the second part of the question, that our country is controlled by corporations. Corporations care about for their profit. That's why they corrupt our politics, and because of that, we can see a lot of examples like glyphosate now, which is proven to be carcinogen, just still on our shelves and nobody's talking about. Why? Because the FDA, the EPA, the Congress is really owned and influenced by these people. So the huge issue is to end the corruption in our government and governmental agency to do that.
Thank you. What will you do regarding Medicare and Medicaid to help Oregon seniors and people with disabilities in their homes with access to mental health and substance abuse services?
Yeah, so this question is related to the first part of that question, which is how to improve the healthcare insurance and the healthcare providing system. I advocate for single payer healthcare system, which means there's no need to worry about the Medicare programs or Medicaid programs. Everyone gets the healthcare that he deserves, that she deserves to get, and it is a single payer program, which means that the government would save money and the citizens would not be worried about getting the healthcare that they deserve. So expanding or initiating this single healthcare system would eliminate all of these problems that most of the people right now complaining about when they deal with Medicare and Medicaid.
Great, thank you. Last question, what will you do on a federal level so that seniors and people with disabilities no longer face a lack of accessible, affordable housing?
Yeah, so again, this is a huge issue. We are suffering from the grab of power, which is affecting several things, not only the products that we have, it's also affects the real estate market. Right now, we don't have a balanced wages versus living expenses, which reflects on the real estate market. People cannot live. 12% before COVID, 12% of the people live in poverty. So this is before COVID, and with COVID now, with the inflation that is going to happen, we are heading toward a disaster. So to answer these questions, to fix these problems, we really need to overhaul the whole monetary system in our country and really avoid what is going on here. This is part of a long overdue policies.
Thank you, Ibra. I really appreciate you joining us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, this is Ibra Taher, Green Party nominee for U.S. Senate.